Hello and welcome back to the American Dream Portfolio. In our last 4 videos, we discussed how emotionally driven behavior can sabotage our progress toward achieving the American dream. In order to combat this behavior, we must devise a process which removes emotion and reckless behavior from our investment decisions to the greatest extent possible. In order to do that, we need a rock-solid plan. We will create such a plan over the next few videos. So, where do we start? As with any important plan, we think it best to define our purpose first. What are we trying to achieve and why? In previous videos, we stated that our purpose is to help people, even those of modest means and regardless of where they live, begin building wealth. Through the building of wealth, they can reach for and hopefully achieve their version of the American dream. So our plan must lead to the building of wealth. To do that, we must seek out hard-working assets that will not only overcome the ravages of inflation, but give us real growth on top of inflation. In a previous video, we suggested that an average annual rate of return equal to 9% should do the trick, assuming the current 3% rate of inflation. But if we think carefully about building wealth through investing, we realize that the 9% target should not be our ultimate goal. Instead, it should be the minimum result we aim to achieve. In other words, 9% should be our floor, not our ceiling. This is because, in the topsy-turvy world of investing, no hard-working return is ever guaranteed, and this includes our 9% target. Since it is a necessary feature of our plan that we take risks, this leads us to the conclusion that our goal should be the greatest possible total return, commensurate with the risks we are prepared to take. Any return greater than 9% will not only help us build wealth that much faster, but will provide a cushion against unexpected difficult times. So our thought process has uncovered a very important concept. That of aiming for the best possible total return. What do we mean by total return? Total return can best be thought of as value added to your investment by all possible means, from appreciation to compounding, from interest to dividends to rent. In short, we will not be primarily concerned with the source of the added value. Our primary concern will be to maximize the value added to our account through wise and disciplined investing. As a total return investor, we welcome every dollar added to our account. We are not fussy about where it comes from. A dollar gained through appreciation is just as valuable as a $1 dividend or a dollar of interest. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. To summarize then, our purpose is to achieve a maximum total return in line with the risks we are prepared to take. That return must average at least 9% per year under current conditions, but we must strive to do better if we can. Okay, so much for purpose. Now, if we are to achieve our purpose, we must be aware of any assumptions that will be or should be baked into our plan. What are these assumptions and do they help or hinder our purpose? To take an example, if our goal is to get a driver's license, then one of our assumptions should be that we will pass the vision test. If that assumption turns out to be faulty, we cannot achieve our goal. Let's apply this reasoning to our investment plan by making the following assumptions. Assumption number 1, we cannot predict the future. This assumption rules out market timing among other delusions. Assumption number 2, we cannot invest based on possibility because anything is possible in the markets. This will help us steer clear of frivolous tips and media hype. Assumption number 3, we cannot invest based on certainty because nothing is certain in the markets. This is a corollary of the first assumption. Assumption number 4, we can successfully invest based on probability, and probabilistic decisions can be made after a thoughtful analysis of historic information applied to current conditions. We think most people will agree that this is a major assumption, and if it's valid, will prove to be the linchpin of any success we achieve. Assumption number 5. The more complex our plan, the more likely it will fail to achieve our objective. If we burden ourselves with too much data and algorithmic messiness, we jeopardize our ability to act decisively and in a timely manner. We must aim for a simple plan that is straightforward to execute. Assumption number 6. Although impossible to measure or control, we accept that every successful investment result is due, in part, to luck. Assumption number 7. Despite the US stock market's inevitable volatility, it will always return to an upward trend leading to higher prices. If it doesn't, then our efforts to build wealth as planned will be futile. Now that we've made clear our purpose and assumptions, it is worthwhile pointing out that everything we've stated in this video can be captured in the following simple statement. Our purpose in building the American Dream portfolio is to make money, not to be right. Once our portfolio is up and running, you will never catch us committed to an investment just because of the hard work we put in to choose it. You will never catch us patiently waiting for the market to come around to our way of thinking. And you will never catch us bragging about a big winner or regretting a loser. We will be quite satisfied if we just stick to our plan and execute it well. With all of this in mind, we might ask the question, why not just invest in the simplest portfolio of all that does the job? In other words, why not choose a portfolio consisting only of our benchmark, the S&P 500, and nothing else? We will delve into that question in the next video. See you then.